rin po, Secretary Uy. So, several policy questions. But beginning with a clarificatory question on the Supreme Court resignation or termination. So, a clarificatory question. In 2005, the Secretary abruptly resigned as Deputy Clerk of Court for Information Technology of the Supreme Court. This was, according to our CAPIR, reportedly due to anomalies discovered by Justice Antonio T. Carpio. Other information indicates you were made to resign by Chief Justice Hilario G. Davide Jr. himself after an investigation. On your part, the Secretary stated the report was a demolition job, stating that it was spread by people hurt by your reforms. So, just to clear everything up before this committee, what was the reason for your abrupt resignation in 2005? Was this really related to Supreme Court insiders hurt by the reforms you were implementing? And if so, what was the nature of these reforms?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity to respond to that allegation. Actually, my resignation was not abrupt. The Chief Justice Davide already knew way ahead of time upon his assumption as the Chief Justice that I will only stay during his term. Mainly because he actually requested me to stay on because he had a lot of judicial reform initiatives that he wanted to push through. And he prevailed upon me to stay on in order to help fulfill and bring into fruition his vision of a reformed judiciary that is transparent, that is efficient. And during the process of course, improving transparency, there will always be resistance to change and resistance to reform. And I expect no less in my current capacity as DICT Secretary. There will be resistance from people when we implement all these reforms, especially if we want to improve transparency in governance. So Chief Justice Davide was already aware of my intention. And in fact, I tendered my resignation about, I think, 6 months prior to his retirement in order to give him or allow him some time to look for a replacement. But he amended my resignation date and told me that I should resign on his last day of office because he wanted me to be there up to his last day. The motivation for my resignation po is really the pay. On the day of my resignation po, my salary was 334,000 pesos per annum, gross. At that time po, I got married in 2017, and in 2005, I already had 3 children. And they were all starting to go to school. And 300,000 pesos a year was not enough po to raise 3 children, especially if I want to send them to good school. That's not enough to pay for even the tuition of one child. And during that time po, my father was actually subsidizing me and was encouraging me to leave government because government has already, well, his term was exploited my youth by dedicating my youth in serving the government. So because of that, because of those financial circumstances, I really plan to resign. And in order because there were a lot of people already disparaging me at that time po, when I was still there. So it would seem that the Chief Justice knew about this ahead of time. That's why he made sure that on my last day of office, which is also his last day on his retirement, he issued a commendation letter to me